Welcome to the fifth night of Lot, the night of Santa Lucia, as they call her in Italy, Saint Lucia, also a very important figure in Sweden. And this is part of the Knights of Lot, an old Germanic Celtic tradition. Goes back all the way to 2,500 years and has been also known in the Greek and Roman times before Christianity. These nights are in the time of the Advent, starting on the 24th of November. And that time goes all the way to 20th, 21st of December, winter solstice, and it has been in the Northern Hemisphere in Europe, where this tradition originates, the darkest time of the year, a time of turning inside, a time of introspection, and a time of preparing for winter solstice and thus the new year. Here is Aditya Novotny. I welcome you to this fifth night of Lot, the night of St. Lucia. What are Knights of Lot? Knights of Lot are knights of fate. Lot is an old English word coming originally from the Germanic los. Los or lot in English means fate. That's your lot. Also, we have the word lot still in the word lottery. But indeed, this is not a lottery. This is a serious preparation for the year to come. As you might know, the Holy Nights that go from 25th of December till 5th of January, ending in the night of the three kings, the night of the three wise men, has been a traditional preparation in Central Europe, but also Northern Europe for the year to come. 25th of December, the first Holy Night, corresponds to January of the coming year. 26th of December corresponds to the month of February. And finally, 5th of January corresponds to the month of December. Now, what many people do not know, Holy Nights nowadays have a resurging popularity, especially in Europe. But what many people don't know, what precedes them. Now, Advent, being celebrated the last 4 Sundays before Christmas, is an example of that time. But really, that tradition of Advent goes back to Martin Luther, so just 16th century. What were they doing before? In fact, they had this time of Knights of Lot, preparing, looking at fate, looking at their shortcomings, at their dangers and difficulties, and assuaging these forces of fate. This sounds like superstition, but there is a lot of testimony that they work. I've been doing, for example, these nights for the last 6 years, and my life has really changed to the better. Moreover, the Holy Nights have been presented by me since 2018 and have been attended by nearly 2,000 people, 1,500 in German-speaking areas and over 500 English speakers. So this is a vehicle that works amazingly, that goes back to very old times. And now we are on the fifth night of Lot, the night of St. Lucia of Syracuse, Sicily. St. Lucia is said to have lived between 283 after Christ and 304 after Christ. That means she only became 21 years old. Why? We will find out. She's an early Christian virgin. She was originally of the old gods, of the Roman gods, having lived in Sicily. And she is a consecrated martyr. Her name, Lucia, means the luminous one. Lucia was the daughter of a wealthy Roman citizen of Syracuse who died young. He left her quite a fortune, but it was promised that she would get that fortune, that heritage, when she marries a particular young man. Lucia didn't have the feeling that she should marry that young man. She was extremely beautiful. She had luminous eyes, and she told her mother about her concerns that she wouldn't want to marry. However, it was promised to the father who died, and so also her mother was in a difficult position. Now, it happened as it must happen in such stories, and this is one of the real popular Christian saints. However, it's not even sure if Saint Lucia really existed as a historical figure. What is known is there is a lot of legends about her. She is well beloved. There is even that famous Napolitanian song, Santa Lucia, Santa Lucia, ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba. And sorry for my singing skills. I just wanted to bring that melody back to your memory. This is the melody of that song in honor of Saint Lucia. So, when her mother became seriously ill, Lucia made a pilgrimage with her to the tomb of St.Agatha in Catania, a little bit north of Syracuse in Sicily. Before they went to a church service, a Christian mass, a Christian worship, which was still unusual in those days because many were still of the old gods. And there, for the first time, St. Lucia heard the words of Jesus, the words of the Bible, and especially his compassion and his active helping others, helping the poor in need, moved her heart greatly. When after the Mass they went to the grave of St. Agatha, the heavens opened and angels came down in front of St. Lucia, and with the angels came a luminous female figure. And that was St. Agatha herself. And she said, Lucia, my sister, do not worry. You come here because you expect me to heal you, mother. St. Agatha was a famous healing saint, performing miracles. But you have all that power within yourself. Just trust yourself and all will become good. Then this apparition receded, and together with the mass that they had attended before, it really moved Saint Lucia. She was a young woman with shining eyes, luminous eyes, and now she was more luminous than ever. When they went to sleep, she had an extremely beautiful feeling. She had felt that now her real mission has started. And when they came back home to Syracuse, she asked her mother for the fortune that her father had left her, to give it to her early, because she said, I want to remain a virgin. I don't want to marry that young man. Now, the mother, having been healed from that blood disease, conceded, and she gave the fortune to Lucia, her daughter. Now, Lucia, in the following the Christ's teaching, started to spend all the money to help the poor and the needy. And when she had basically spent all the money, the young man who was promised to marry Saint Lucia, had found out about that and wanted to see who was that young woman saint that everybody was speaking about. And he found that it was the young lady promised to him, Saint Lucia herself. Of course, for him, she was no saint. She was just a young woman he wanted to marry. And it's not clear if he was more after the money or more after the girl or both. Now he confronted her and said, listen, you were promised to me, and now you spent all the money that your father left to the poor. You broke your promise. I will bring you before the prefect. I will bring you before the judge. This is not according to the laws. And Lucia just looked at him with her luminous eyes silently, and she didn't move an inch. Sadly, the young man left, and in the evening, Lucia went to her chamber, and there she prayed. And then, when she was finished with her prayer, she ripped out her eyes. And she put these eyes on a tablet into a cup. There's different pictures of that. Here you have St. Lucia, on the one hand, with the eyes in her hands, which is quite interesting, also from a spiritual point of view. But on the other hand, the eyes already on the plate. And that is what she gave a friend of that young man to bring to him and to tell him, look, now I'm ugly. I have no more eyes. And you surely don't want to marry me now. Here you have another painting of her with this cup with her eyes, and another of her three symbols, the sword. I will speak about the sword later. And you see, she has beautiful eyes. She's really young. And of course, the painting doesn't show us the luminosity of her eyes. But let's go back to the story. In the night, the Mother of God herself appeared to St. Lucia and said, "Oh, my daughter, you have ripped out your eyes." And she gently touched her eyes with her hands and restored her eyes. Even she had now more beautiful, more luminous eyes than before. It was really a miracle. Lucia felt blessed, but the young man, he was not so happy at all. He went straight to the prefect and he complained that she had spent all the money that the father had left for their marriage, and he accused her of selling the inheritance because she was Christian, because she wanted to follow the path of Jesus. Now, the prefect was a very serious hunter of Christians. He was engaging in the early being after the Christians and killing many of them. And when he heard that the bridegroom was put away following the teachings of Jesus, he said, "Oh, we have to take this woman prisoner. She's really bad." And he took her prisoner, and then he wanted to move her to marry that young man. But Lucia remained steadfast. And then the prefect said, "Okay, let's put her into a harlot's house. This is where she belongs." But not even a team of oxen cart and 1,000 men were able to deliver the tied Lucia. She would not move an inch. She was also then forced to be under a sorcerer's spell, and it didn't work. The spell didn't work. She was poured hot oil and she was tortured with fire, but she even escaped these tortures unscathed. Finally, the prefect himself took a sword and put the sword straight into the throat of the young woman. Even then, she did not die. And it was only when a Christian priest who was amongst the people gathered gave her a host of Jesus that she would die as she finally received the host of her Lord. Now, that's a serious story, and it comes from a serious time. The symbols are clear. Here we have the old world, the old gods, the Roman gods. Then we have a young woman who turns over to the new faith that would be the main faith for the next 2,000 years to come, or 1,600, 1,700 years to come. So the old system being overthrown with the younger and more energetic and luminous path. And also, we have this motive of her looking into the danger, looking into the darkness with her luminous eyes. This is something that is called darshan in India. The meaning of darshan is twofold. On the one hand, it's what you see, that you see the divine, and that seeing the divine blesses you. On the other hand, also the eyes are sending out blessings. The eyes can send out divine light. The eyes are the gateway of the soul. And she really confronted her fate. She confronted the prefect. She confronted 1,000 men who could not move her. And she only said to the prefect the words, I have given the fortune that my father has left me in the teaching, in the way the Christ was teaching it, for the good of the poor and the needy. Now, the only thing I can still sacrifice is my life. So the symbols are the eyes that glow and radiate into the darkness and transform the darkness. If we look closer, we find out that Lucia, of course, was a Christianized form of the Roman goddess of the moon and light called Lucina, who was later, by the way, demonized by the church because she was a pagan god, a pagan goddess. And so they put on top of that Lucina, goddess of the moon and the light, they put the figure of that young Christian saint. Another symbol of hers is the sword. Now you know why the sword is a symbol, because she was stabbed with the sword in her throat. And the third symbol is the crescent moon, and that reminds of her as a representative really of the moon goddess of Luna or of Lucina, coming from the old. There is a date-related connection with Luna. She has the same festival day as St. Lucia, as the goddess of heaven, Diana as the goddess of earth, and Hecate as the goddess of the underworld, the goddess of sorcery and the goddess of transformation. And sometimes these three appear as one. We have that trinity of three holy women. We talked about it before when we talked about the night of St. Katharina and the three maidens. We also talked about that trinity when we talked about the St. Barbara and the three Beths, like Elizabeth, but they had different names ending in Beth. And it's always invariably a manifestation of a threefold female divinity. Now, we do not only have signs that remind us of St. Lucia in the Roman pagan faith, we also have it in Scandinavia. St. Lucia is really big in Sweden. Every 13th of December, there is a big festival, and it's St. Lucia's Day, and all the young women meet, and the one that is chosen, she wears an ornament, a wreath of pine trees and fir trees, like the Advent wreath, and on top of it is quite a number of candles. And she's the light bringer. She brings light into the darkness, because formerly it was believed that the night from the 12th to the 13th of December is the darkest night, is when the nights are the longest. Only later on, through modern astronomy, of course, it was find out that it's just the night before winter solstice. So not only the young women with the chosen one engage in that festival of light, and it's a beloved festival in the whole of Scandinavia, including Denmark, Sweden, Norway, but in Sweden, it's really big. And also the young men of each village, they are gathering there, and they appear a little bit as dwarfs. They have the funny hat, whereas the girls, they have this wreath on top of their heads. So a wreath symbol of female, and these pointed heads symbol of masculinity, showing you that there is, of course, some Nordic influences as well, some Viking influences, you might call them. And indeed, there are pictures of St. Lucia riding the Yule goat. And you may well know that winter solstice is also called the Festival of Yule. And especially there will be the Yule fire in the evening of the 21st of December, where certain rituals are performed that I will tell you about. We will do a live stream also on the 20th for the night of St. Thomas and on the 21st for winter solstice. So the Yule goat is one of the goats of the god Thor. He has the whole group of goats, and here we have St. Lucia, a seemingly Christian saint, riding on one of the goats of the god Thor. Yes, exactly that one. And now, who is this? This is the dark side of Lucia. She's called the Bloody Lutz. Bloody Lutz with a sickle, not the moon sickle, but actually the not the moon crescent, but really a sickle like Mother Kali in India, which is like a wrathful female goddess who kills all the bad forces, who kills all the demons. And she is really portrayed in a wrathful way as well, quite amazing for a Christian saint. But the church says, oh, this is just a reminder of Lucina, that terrible moon and light goddess of the pagan Roman beliefs. And the real one is, of course, Lucia. Now, why do we have here a figure that has the luminous side, St. Lucia, and the dark side of Bloody Luz? And what does Bloody Luz stand for? And do they work together? Is there a connection between darkness and light? Let's find out. So the dark side, Bloody Lutz, or Bloody Luz, or you could say Bloody Lucy, with a sickle, who takes naughty and disobedient people, including children, drags them into the forest where she slits them, she slashes them with the sickle. And actually, she especially does not like lethargic people, people who are lazy, people who are idling away their days and their life. And she pulls them out of their houses, drags them into the forest, and like that sickle that also Kali, this is why it's quite amazing, Kali from India, she also has a sickle where she kills demons. So there is a similarity, you could say, Indo-Germanic faith, Indo-Germanic culture. There might be a connection even between Kali, the red, and the Bloody Luz. As I said, the origin of Bloody Luz lies in the ancient Roman goddess of moon and light, Lucina, who was later demonized by the church, of course, as a pagan goddess. So let's have a look now. What can you do? What's this whole night supposed to be? It's supposed to be looking with luminosity, with light in our eyes at the darkness that confronts us. And with the darkness is not just meant the long nights. With the darkness is especially meant the darkness inside us, the shadows inside us, our shadow energies. And for that, I have brought two oils for you. The first oil is called Gary's Light. And it's an oil blend that is very special. It's going back to Gary Young, the composer of this recipe. And it contains sacred frankincense, cistus, myrrh, and cinnamon bark, all four being oils of the Bible, as well as lemongrass from Southeast Asia. You find it in Thailand, for example. And this is amazing composition because the lemongrass makes it quite fresh and light. Otherwise, you have this deep spiritual vibration from the sacred frankincense, a god, the father oil, from myrrh, a god, the mother oil, from cistus, which is said to be the oil of the prophets and the oil of divination and of truth, and cinnamon bark, which has been used already in the recipe of Moses from the book Exodus 2. What does that oil blend do and how do you use it? First, you see me holding the bottle under my nose. And this is the classic aromatic usage, classic aromatherapy usage. You are really for 3 to 5 minutes deeply breathing this aroma. And your nose epithel, your olfactory receptors bring it towards the limbic system and the central nerve system. And as the molecules of essential oils are really minuscule, between 500 to 800 AMU, atomic mass units, they are penetrating everything. Such oils are even going through the blood-brain barrier. And the scent gives you an uplifting feeling and makes you really awake and really conscious. So this particular oil blend, if you are smelling it for 3 to 5 minutes or even longer if you like, inspires us to connect with one another more. We live in a time of separation. We live in a time of isolation in more than one ways. And it helps us to enlighten our spirit to a greater awareness of truth and discernment. Discernment, what is darkness? Discernment, what is light? Is very fitting for our times. This special blend provides a calming sense of strength that leaves us feeling grounded and protected, while filling our hearts with joy and peace, allowing us to shine with light throughout our being. So this scent, when you inundate yourself with it, will give you a feeling of light and luminosity. Do you apply it somewhere on the body? Yes, you can. One way is, of course, to apply it on the spiritual eye, the third eye, as it is called. And also, if you wish, you can apply it around the eyes in an infinite eight, in a lemnicate figure. Don't put it in the eyes. No, no, no. Essential oils are not eye drops, but you can put it around the eyes and on your forehead. Secondly, you apply it on your heart center, in the center of the chest, your spiritual heart. And thirdly, you apply it on your crown. And in fact, you can sprinkle it on your crown like a blessing. It's quite interesting. And don't wear a white shirt because it's a little yellowish, this particular oil. So now that you have applied the oil on your crown, on your forehead, around your eyes, and on your heart, what you do again is you do the aromatic breathing, deep breathing, and you feel now the luminosity and the light, the energy on your crown. Remember these St.Lucia figures in Sweden who carry a wreath of candles above their head, like the light bringer. And now, as you have applied the oil on top of your head, imagine you have such a wreath with candles on it, shining in the darkness. And then also feel luminosity in your third eye and luminosity in your physical eyes. And light in your heart. Feel a wonderful heavenly light in your heart. And with this light, that is divine light, that protects you, that makes you strong, grounded, and self-confident, like young Lucia was, who became only 21 years old and didn't swerve from her path. Also, you will have the power to confront whatever hindrances you have, whatever obstacles you have, and go your path. Stay on your path. Use the light for discernment and use the light for not swerving from your path. That's the one aspect of the night of St. Lucia, to connect with the light, to activate the light within yourself. But the second aspect is really transforming darkness. And I told you that we have this trinity of Lucina or Luna and Diana and Hecate. And Hecate is not only a goddess in connection with Lucina or Luna or Lucia, but she's also the goddess of transformation. And she is also connected with the moon. All these feminine goddesses, they have to do with the cycles of the moon, with full moon and waxing and waning moon and the new moon, and the cycles of menstruation and the powers that are within the female, powers that men don't have. And these powers are, on the one hand, the bright side of the moon, but also, on the other hand, the dark side of the moon, which every woman, as I have heard, can feel sometimes. That there is also these darker energies of the moon. Now, I, as a man, can only say men have dark sides too, plenty of them. But here we have a goddess who represents both. And Lucina or Lucia or Luna, she represents the bright side, the illumining side, the light bringer. But Hecate, the goddess of the underworld, or Bloody Luce, as she's called in the Germanic and Viking traditions, the one who looks like Kali, she is representing what in old Roman times was Hecate, the goddess of transformation. And this is what we are looking at now with that oil blend, which is fittingly called transformation. What does transformation do and how do you use it? First step is always do some aromatic breathing. Really take 3 to 5 minutes to take in the fragrance, take in the energy of the oil. Transformation oil blend combines 9 essential oils: lemon, peppermint, sandalwood, clary sage, frankincense, Idaho blue spruce, cardamom, ocotea, and palo santo. It helps you move from feelings of darkness and being challenged by your shadows to an environment of light, hope, and joy. This scent strengthens positivity and self-confidence to move forward and change your behavior with courage and the inner knowing to fulfill your wishes. Transformation strengthens and supports the willingness to change inner beliefs, for it is sometimes our own beliefs that invites shadows, like belittling, self-belittling beliefs, self-reducing, self-depreciating beliefs, making yourself small unnecessarily, being desperate, being in a dark mood. These are all energies and emotions that can take us away from our true light. And with transformation that you inhale in the way described, but then also you can apply it all over the body. It's an amazing oil blend for applying on every millimeter of your body. By the way, it's great to use in the shower. Actually, you apply it on your whole body before you shower, and then the water drives the oil even deeper because water is oil repellent, whereas your skin is lipophile. That means it welcomes the oil. So be under the shower for 5 minutes with that oil blend and really feel what it does, how it transforms you. It's an amazing feeling. If you have that oil blend, do it tonight and do it during the 13th of December. This ritual with Gary's light and with transformation you can do in the evening of the 12th of December. You can do in the morning of the 13th of December, and you can do on 13th December before sunset. Look especially into your dreams. If you have done the ritual before you go to bed on the 12th, then also be attentive to your dreams, what is being shown to you. And while you're doing the inhalation with transformation, and you see me here actually doing the inhalation with both of them, because these two oil blends really are a perfect combination. Probably you have never tried that out, but they are fantastic together. So, what you do, you take transformation and you ask, what is my darkness? What are my shadows? What are my shadow energies? So, like St. Lucia, you look with luminosity. Remember, you applied Gary's light around your eyes. You look at the darkness, you look at the shadows inside. You're asking for them to be shown to you so you can shine your conscious light of them. It's a very important practice. Of course, this has also deep psychological relevance. And looking away does not help. Like St. Lucia, she was not looking away, she was steadfast. And she was, of course, saved, elevated by eating the host to heaven. And these are, of course, all symbols. Yet it is the same in transformational work that if we look at our shortcomings with self confidence, with positivity, with luminosity, we can transform things that held us back or put us down for many years. And this is the night and the day to look into that, to transform your darkness into light. You can use the oils, or you can just do it internally with intention, with prayer, with meditation, or whatever consciousness techniques you are indeed using. So these are the two oil blends, and chances are you have transformation because that's a well-known oil blend by Young Living. Gary's Light, however, is not known by many. So if you don't have it, let me tell you how you can blend it in a way that it's not exactly the same blend because you don't have the recipe. The recipe is secret, but that you can approximate it. It has 5 different single oils inside. One is sacred frankincense, one is cistus, one is lemongrass, one is cinnamon bark, and the last one is myrrh. And by law, producers have to put the ingredient which has the most amount first, and the ingredient that has the least amount last in the description of ingredients. So try this one. Try 5 drops of sacred frankincense, 4 drops of cistus, 3 drops of lemongrass, 2 drops of cinnamon bark, and 1 drop of myrrh. These are the proportions. And then, if you're gonna smell the original Gary's Light, you will be quite surprised how close you come. However, it will not be exact because the exact recipe, of course, is secret. Now we are close to the essential holy nights. I will give them again, this time for the 6th year, from 21st of December 2023 to the 6th of January 2024. This is this portal that opens in that time of the year. And I will give you more information, of course, on 20th and 21st of December in the coming live streams. How to design, to create, and to manifest your upcoming year using ancient secret rituals, the Holy Nights tradition, and essential oils. And also, I'm giving again the essential Holy Nights year. So I've been asked by many participants, how can we carry it throughout the year? How can we extend the space into the whole year? As you know, 25th of December is connected with January 26th, with February 27th of December, with March, and so on. So I will give in one of the packages additionally the Essential Holy Nights here with live streams, online trainings, about 1.5 hours each time throughout the year. From 7th of January 2024 till 20th December 2024. This will be a unique journey for you. Things you will experience that you maybe have never experienced, unless you are a participant already, because we have people participating for the last 4, 5, 6 years. And then you know what power it has And that also speaks for the Essential Holy Nights and the Essential Holy Nights here, that participants come back and back again and do it year over year over year, because it has such a strong transformative power. You really take your life into your hands and move it into an even more positive direction, which is something that many people today also need. We are using about 47 different essential oils and oil blends. So you will learn a lot about essential oils. You will get the knowledge that many aromatherapists will envy you for. And to join the 12 Holy Nights, I will post a link under this live stream when the live stream is finished. This leads you to the landing page where you can order your participation. It brings you to this page, which is actually explaining everything. So you get an overview. I believe even all the oils are mentioned on that landing page. Many people always ask me, so which oils are we going to use? Well, I send you also an email detailing the oils so you can have them ready. And the third package, by the way, is the package where I give one-on-one coaching to participants in this most exclusive package. And that is coaching for the winter months. That happens sometime between January 7th and January 20th or 30th, depending on when you book your appointment. Then we'll have coaching, personalized coaching for spring, end of March, beginning of April. The one for summer, end of June, beginning of July, and the one for autumn, end of September, beginning of October. So these are your three options for participation in different degrees, in different intensities. You will move through a year that is full of miracles and full of wonderful transformations. We have another holy night coming up, the night of St. Thomas, and that is from 20th to 21st of December. This leads us straight into winter solstice. And the meaning of the night of St. Thomas is end and beginning. End and beginning. And this has also quite a few interesting clues before then. Just on the next day, we do a special celebration and also practice ritual. And I will explain to you how you do the Yule fire that they have done in Scandinavia for centuries. And that is also well known in the German-speaking countries. How to prepare with this huge bonfire and what special rituals you can do to prepare for the new year. So I'm looking forward to seeing you. Thank you so much for joining this live stream. Please share with your friends who might be interested. And I see you again on the 20th of December for St. Thomas Night.